5 days ago, Noodles, the Canucks were in playoff position. Now they're 5 points back. If you're going to place any blame, where would you place it?
Well, if you take a look at it, there's a bunch of different factors because, to me, the players have to absorb a lot of that because they have to be a lot better. But I would start, number one, with luck because if you had health and some luck, you would have a very deep team on paper. Number two is the players because they go out and play the game. They have to be a lot better and more consistent. And number three, I would go with management because management, I think, could have taken care of the JT Miller-Pettersson, we'll call it feud, just for lack of better words, a lot sooner to maybe clean things up and allow a clear path for things to sort out. But number one is luck. I mean, this team has been banged up. You have Demko, Hughes that's been banged up. Now the players' inconsistency and then management. So there's a lot of blame to go around, but the players have to be a lot better.
Okay, so let's pick up on the management thing. So it was a while ago that they did deal JT Miller to the Rangers. They didn't do much else, really. Yes, Carson Soucy dealt away for a pick. A lot of talk about Brock Besser. That didn't happen. Is it a mistake, really, them standing pat, not going one way or the other here?
No, because I do believe on paper, and I talked about the word luck, if they were healthy, this is a playoff team. If you had a healthy Thatcher Demko, if Quinn Hughes had been healthy all season long, if you had a consistent Elias Pettersson, you look at Brock Besser, a lot of players, you bring in Jake DeBrusk in the offseason, this team on paper looks really good and maybe poised to get to that next level. We haven't found that. Right from day one, it's been inconsistency, a lot of storylines on and off the ice. So I'm fine with them standing pat, but they are going to have a retool or a reshuffle here in the offseason, given some of the information they have from behind the scenes that we're not privy to.
Now, 5 points back. It's not over yet, but not looking nearly as good as it was last week. And they still get this back, get back in the race?
They can. I mean, if Thatcher Demko comes back and hits the ground running, the goaltending really hasn't been a problem, but the consistency of the group. Is Pettersson healthy? Because he looked like he wasn't the other night against the Rangers. To me, this group, if they could get some health, some confidence, they could climb the standings. But again, you're going up against St. Louis that's very strong and on a run right now. Calgary has some games in hand, and they're playing very connected. So it is going to be an uphill battle, but I do believe that this team, if they get some luck, if they get some confidence and health, they could make it back there.
Well, you brought up Demko's name a couple of times, and that is significant. He last played February 8th. He is in goal, making his return tonight against the Devils. You talked about him making a difference. Do you think he can make, with all that time off, enough of a difference for them?
If he hits the ground running, the biggest challenge is if there is rust and cobwebs on his game, it might take him a couple weeks to settle in and get into that game cadence. But if he plays on emotion, and he's certainly an elite caliber goaltender, and he gives them the goaltending, maybe that shot in the arm they needed, anything can happen, and he's capable of doing it. But I wouldn't expect the heroics right away because it is going to take him a little bit to settle in and get into game shape.
Well, the Canucks' goal differential right now is -17. There's only one other team currently in playoff contention that has a worse one than that. That's Montreal at -18.